Good morning everyone, it's now the 3rd of August and I'm up the allotment at 5:30 in the morning and just trying to get some disbudding done before I get on with the rest of my jobs up the allotment. Just thought I'd just show you about the disbudding. I did briefly go over it in my last clip. I'm just going through some of my miniatures at the moment. These are all miniature cactus. I've got Rycroft Sparkler, and yeah, just thought I'd show you about the disbudding. When it comes to miniature cactus, obviously the flowers for exhibition have got to go through a 4-inch ring, so you don't want them to be too big. You've got to try and keep them, as small as you can. They still want to go, be between 3 and 4 inches, and a lot of the miniature cactus have a habit of going over size. So although some of them are dual classification, they won't they will be they won't necessarily be any good as a small, so you can only really show them as miniatures. So some of them, and I've got some Western Pirate. These are one of the best ones around at the moment, and if I show you this one, I mean basically that one, it's got its 2 side buds, and then obviously next breaks down all the way down the plant coming up. Now my rule of thumb for a miniature is to disbud by taking just the 2 side buds off. I'll take those 2 off, and then I'll leave those 2 will come off when I cut the plant. They'll come off as well with it, unless it stretches long enough that I can leave those on. But my rule of thumb, like I say, is with a miniature is to take the 2 side buds off. Obviously sometimes you'll get a plant or get a bud. I'm trying to find one now. Let's see if I can find one. You'll get a plant with just 1 wing bud. There we go. There we go. That one there has just got 1 wing bud, and then the next pair down. So what I generally do is I would take the 1 wing bud and the next pair, but this will depend on the varieties quite often and how tall they get. But yeah, generally I use the rule of either the 2 wing buds or 3 side breaks. So it's either, I call it 1 and 2, or just a double stopping, and that generally works. But it's a case of looking at the varieties, seeing how they grow for you, and how big they start coming once they start coming out. Things like Western Spanish Dancer, got one little one coming out there, but they can be on the big side. So yeah, even if it's got 1 side bud, it might just be worth taking the 1 off and leaving it to come. But the more flowers you can get coming on a miniature cactus, generally the better it is, because you've got to keep them under that 4 inches. When it comes to some of the other sizes, again, you just got to get to know what varieties you're growing, and decide how many wing buds to take off, or the wing buds and side shoots. When it comes to small cactus and small decks, generally I'll take it's sort of either 4 side, the breaks and wing buds, or possibly even 5 if there's just the 1 at the top. But again, and some others like Winholm Diane, you need to strip right back, take as much off as you can, and just grow about 7 up on the plant. So you've just got to get to know your varieties. But so that's the disbudding. That's pretty straightforward. So and that'll help all the energy going into that flower take away any wasted energy on those side buds, so you should have some much better blooms. Okay, see you soon.